start with the year, and let's get straight into it. A big year for the AFLW program, undefeated again, a percentage north of 300 in the home and away season. No pun intended there. Now, I didn't catch much of it. You were talking, but I was getting about every second or third word, so we'll see how we go now. Do you look back now and reflect on what you achieved as a group? It was a pretty big year for the club.
Yes. Again, sorry, he's having some technical issues where I am, but hopefully I sound
That's all right.
What I was saying was that it was an unreal year, obviously, but you kind of get swept up in the season throughout. So through the kind of home and away, we didn't really speak about kind of how we were going as a whole. It was just kind of focusing on each week and just getting the job done and respecting each opponent that we kind of came up against. I think Croc even came out and said that we didn't speak about too much about where we were until we kind of finished the home and away season, had a small reflection on just, I guess, congratulating the program as a whole, including all the staff and players, about how we'd kind of gone up until that point. And then, finals rolled around and we obviously did quite well. We came into the grand final sitting in pole position. So again, we weren't reflecting on it too much, but definitely once we'd finished the season, I think the main day I always kind of remember reflecting on the grand final is sitting at Croc's house when he's got the whole staff there, all the players there, and you kind of get to sit and relax and really actually enjoy what we've done and what we've achieved. Because, I think you even might have mentioned it, we'll look back in 20 years and it'll be pretty special, really special group of players and staff and everyone a part of it. And it's going to be unreal to look back on as, a premiership player and that team in particular.
Yeah, I mean, premiership reunions are always good like that. I mean, 10, 20 years. I mean, North Melbourne were very successful in the 90s. They still have their 20 years. They've had that 25 years, 30 years. And that's something, you'll have forever. And it's a really special feeling because, everyone goes on their own tracks and you lose contact with people, but you always have those memories of catching up. And it feels like, like when, even if you don't catch up for 10 years, like I played in premierships and I've had 10, 15-year premiership reunions playing cricket. I haven't seen these people for a while, but it's felt like, we haven't missed anything, so that's, we catch up like it was yesterday. So, and that's something, that's really special. So
it's really
hopefully it's not the last one, but look, if it is, so be it. But it was a pretty big year. And we also had some big year news after the season finished, and that was a retirement of Sarah Wright. A great career and was a big part of the 2024 premiership year. Set the tone for the culture. One of the originals. You work very closely with Wrighty in the back line. Bit sad to see her go, isn't it? Even though she didn't play in 2025.
Yeah, she's one of my closest friends, was on the field, but now obviously off the field as well. And it's just, it's been so nice to see her announce it, or not nice to see her announce retirement, but just be happy with that decision and be ready to move on to the kind of next chapter in her life. She'll be dearly missed. She was kind of one of those players that just connected everybody. She wasn't always the most social, but you knew that she just really cared for everybody and she was really loyal to the club. As you said, she was one of the originals and she'd really grown over the even the last couple of years when I had been around. When I first kind of met her, she was pretty quiet, just happy to kind of go about her business and not get too many accolades. But then I saw her grow year in, year out and put all the effort in. And then up until that point where she got all in the All-Australian squad and then came third in our best and fairest, I think that was real reward for the hard work she put in for a number of years. I think she's one of the best defenders I ever saw in the competition. I think she was underrated maybe outside the four walls, but for us, she was someone that we did really highly rate her on-field performance, but just her knowledge of the game as well. As I said, I think it's nice that she said it into retirement because I don't think I saw her lift the weight in the gym for the last couple of years. She wasn't really that committed to the gym side of things. So I think she's excited to enjoy the next chapter of her life, focus on work and her career outside of footy. Go to the beach. She loves all those kind of things. So it's nice to see her get to enjoy those a little bit more now.
Definitely. Now, 2024, you mentioned she came, top three in the best and fairest. That's a pretty special effort when we're undefeated. She was close to best on ground in the grand final, especially in the first half. It feels it's not a bad way to finish a career when probably her last two games, like prelim and grand final, were probably the best games she played in her career. She intercepted everything, didn't she, those last couple of games?
Yeah, I don't think she wanted to be saying this. I think she was pretty disappointed with how she played in the 2023 grand final and did unfortunately lose that. I think she just had her mindset on performing well and getting that premiership medal, and she did. And I agree, I thought she was unreal in that 2024 grand final. I voted for her best on after the game, and it was just so special for her. She, was really our best intercepting player, best defender, and it was just nice for her to, have those last couple of games and do really well in that last year that she was fully a part of.
No, definitely. Any funny stories? I know she's very introverted. Any funny stories that are maybe PG you can share with the viewers, or any real big fond memories?
Oh no, I don't know if I have too many funny stories that would be maybe allowed to go on air.
That's all right. You don't have to.
No, my first couple of years, she was always the one who would stay out the latest with me. So we had a fair few late night kebabs and late night Macca's runs after a night out and everything as well. So she was always my little companion, and we stayed out nice and late together. And it was always special. I think she just didn't want to leave me, so she always just hung around. And we got to spend the last bit of the night together once everyone else had gone home. So loved her for that, and love going for a meal with her, having a beer with her. She's a really great person off the field.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the photo in the prelim after you won. I think there's a photo of you and her hugging along the boundary line in the prelim after a pretty big win, and we'll talk more about the prelim soon. So it sounds like she's a very nice girl, and I've spoken to her a few times, and she's definitely got a good heart. So hopefully she enjoys her post AFL career, AFLW career. I know she's got a lot going on with businesses, full time work, and so forth. So all right, let's get back to the year and the grand final in particular. Let's talk about the big game. How are you going into the game on a personal level? Was your preparation much different through the week as opposed to previous weeks, or maybe a bit different to last year, or did you just go with the flow?
No, I tried to keep it pretty simple. I think that's probably what I've learned over the last couple of seasons. Obviously, now being 3 grand finals in a row, is that first grand final and that first year in 2023, it was all very overwhelming. I kind of got really excited at the start of the week and almost felt like by the time the grand final came around, I was already fatigued. I was already tired, and you kind of just didn't have the energy. And I guess we saw that in the game. We lost that grand final. So I think on reflection of that last year, I kind of tried to take it, 2024, tried to take it a little bit more chill and relax and just almost treat it like a normal week, but also still appreciate that not everyone gets an opportunity to play in the grand final. So you do still have to really enjoy the kind of the interviews and the media and everything that else that comes around it. So it's a fine balance of leaning into that and obviously the pressure of the game, but at the same time trying to keep it pretty chill and relaxed. I think Croc does a really good job at that, and even Reese, who's our backline coach, he's very good at just keeping us process driven and with a job at hand rather than getting overawed by the occasion. So personally for me, I was going into the grand final feeling somewhat relaxed. I think we'd had some pretty good matchups against Brisbane over the last couple of years that we felt like our game styles, that we were on top of them in that sense. So almost like a quiet confidence. Even having the game before, as you said, the prelim was a bit more stressful, and I think that was almost the game, the danger game for us as such, because we know Melbourne are a really quality outfit. We feel like our game styles match up quite similar, so they really pushed us. So coming into the grand final, as I said, I think against Brisbane, we back in our style of play, and we had just a bit of quiet confidence about it, and then just really enjoyed the day.
Sounds good. You had the big task of playing on Dakota Davidson. She wasn't cited much. Last year we had Sarah Wright as Miss December, but maybe this year we could have you as Miss November third.
That'd be pretty cool. Now I did like calling Righty that in the 2024.
I remember that.
I really highly respect Dakota and T Smith as well. I think they're really good forwards, and obviously Brisbane are a really quality outfit. But as our last kind of couple times that we've played, I felt we've been able to nullify their forward line to a degree. If you kind of take Brisbane's, speed out of the picture, you can catch their forwards in some, relevant positions somewhat, or put yourself in a more intercepting position and go from there. So, I was happy with how I was able to perform in the grand final day, but I think that was almost just an accumulation of the whole season as a backline. We really felt like we went from strength. There was a couple of games that we weren't super happy with, but we kind of, really reflected on those. So went into the game against Brisbane, everyone knew their role and played to that as well. And I think we balanced each other out quite nicely in the backline with Libby and Lies, and you've got Barnes and Ricky, and we had Tessa Boyd obviously throughout the season. We had big ball for Cage that came down as well. Balance each other out really, really nice.
Cut out a little bit there, but I got most of it, Jazz. But it was an unusual game, and the 40-point margin probably wasn't a fair reflection of the game. The Lions dominated the territory game. I think it was something like 33 inside 50s to 13 at one stage. But out on the ground, I felt in the stands that we were in control. And I never felt nervous for a second that the Lions were in control, which is a strange thing to say considering the territory the battle they had.
Yeah, I think we were able to just nullify, I guess, the depth that we're getting with some of those inside 50s, or they weren't coming from really attacking parts of the ground. So like we could intercept them pretty easily and go back the other way. Um, yeah, I feel like the game did feel in control. I think it felt they were kind of, I guess, peppering us a little bit with it. But we did speak about that half time that we knew the and number of grand finals themselves. They're when they're under pressure, they got to really turn it on. So when you're in the third quarter, they were coming out and put us under pressure. So I feel a little bit of but we saw the whole that quarter. So felt like we were still then very much ahead.
Okay, yep. I've got most of that, so we might have to, rush this a little bit, but that's all right. Obviously, would have been tough on Mia King to miss out because we all know that she's one of the best mids in the comp when she's playing. It sounded like she was ready to go in the grand final as well.
Yeah, had down and we had more injuries than we had in previous years. But it's a double-edged sword. I think some of our players through the game past them, we had others through the midfield. We had in this year and a heritage player really role as well. So it was nice to see get the opportunity. Yeah, put out a really strong performance. At the same time as really sad players that you missed out. Around for a number of years, so it was that I think the hardest thing for her is that she did get so close in the end and tick a lot of boxes. She just didn't quite get the game time that the coaches felt like she needed coming into a grand final, considering it's such a big game. I guess you saw the brilliant player role and an amazing role in grand finals. In that first quarter, first half. I guess I think she should be very proud of how she held herself. She definitely didn't let her emotions affect her. She was there for everything. She was the member
Well, she's one of the best midfielders in the competition when on her day. There's no doubt about that. So it was just, unfortunate. But it was a tough decision either way. I mean, I feel for the selectors in situations like that. Someone's got to miss out, unfortunately. And I think the club went probably the right direction, and the results sort of suggest that. When did you think that, all right, out on the ground, we've got this, they have no chance, and we're back-to-back premiers? Did you ever think that during the game?
To a degree, yeah. You can't, like, was somewhat that you felt comfortable in it. So, grand final the last quarter being just so enjoyable. I think it's I'm trying to even remember. It might have been Jammin's goal in the last quarter. I think Brisbane were still playing to the final whistle as well, being times and effort. So you don't really switch off, but at the same time, you do get to enjoy the atmosphere. And I think that there was a little more to feel and every hit, and then actually really enjoy that last quarter. It's something that's really, really special.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, it's a hard feeling. You can't really explain it. Look, and it seems like the message from Crocs has always been about the process and sticking to the process. I think you mentioned that earlier. You never really focus on the results. Was that what you felt like got you over the line? Like during the whole year, like you always kept a level head. You never really got ahead of yourselves or anything like that. Even if you won by 100 points, I think you beat Fremantle. I think it was late August by 100 points. You're always focused on the process and never about the results. And the results take care of themselves at the end of the day if you stick to your process and your identity as well.
Yeah, a bit of a mentor, a bit of a is the fact that you the process. And that's kind of in every single game as well. Throughout the process. And as you said, the results then will take care of themselves. But there were some games that we were still challenged. Like even if you reflect back to the game against Essendon in that first quarter, they kicked 3 goals against us at Windy Hill, and I could have gone to the time and been like, oh, holy shit, what's going on? Like, obviously, very unexpected, but we felt that we weren't and was that second goal. So we were never, I guess, too flustered and but we probably could have won that last quarter. And she's pretty nervous. We were going to put it in Croc. They really come line, really come. We felt like we were in a position to launch into a and that's what we take care of itself.
Yeah, I mean the D's in there. The D's. I mean, obviously was the biggest challenge. I mean, down by 6 points at 3/4 time. I remember talking to Tess Graven. She said she was feeling very nervous for the first time all year. Do you think like just the preparation as well going into that game, it might not have been as solid? You had a good win against Hawthorn a couple of weeks before, had the week off. The week off is always tricky. How do you prepare with the week off and so forth? Do you feel like that might have, probably played in Melbourne's favour, that you might have had a week off and you might have been a bit rusty? You probably hadn't been really challenged.
Yeah, I think it's hard when the start. And I guess from a point of view, sometimes positive and consider slightly older. This is quite sore in the season, so we always feel the nice week to have a bit of recovery. So this Saturday, a bit of maximum kind of against each other. So we didn't feel like we didn't train enough or didn't have high enough kind of workload in that week off. But again, if you do look at the first quarter against Melbourne, we probably were just a little bit behind the kind of step off, whereas they seemed to have all the momentum, which I guess I've had them just continue to roll on. So from kind of both angles. Do really respect Melbourne, though. I don't feel like we're underprepared from that point of view because we really highly rate with the fantastic player, and we did really wanted to have a really good performance against them. It just didn't go our way initially, but again, we reflected on that game and we're really happy with how he went in that last quarter to turn the game around.
I mean, I guess the process always takes care of itself. So that's all you have to think about at the end of the day. Obviously, a couple of brilliant individual efforts by Blahin Bogue and Jasmine Ferguson with the goal as well towards the end to seal the game. But what about you individually? You seem like you went to another level in your game this year personally. You said you want to push up the ground a little bit this year. I remember talking to you and Bella Eddie in the pre-season. She almost snickered when you mentioned that, but you did get up the ground a little bit this year, didn't you?
Yeah, I think we just wanted to kind of keep adding different levels to my game individually, but then also to, I guess, the whole backline group. I think it can get pretty predictable if you're kind of always playing in the same position. And yes, I do often play that little bit deeper. We know teams coming up against us are scouting us and trying to find ways to beat us. So they try and sometimes put a smaller player a bit deeper and mix it around that way. So we're obviously trying to be proactive with that and start to develop my game higher up the ground. And then I guess someone like Libby's game a bit deeper and some of those other smaller players as well. We're just trying to make sure, as I said, we can counteract other teams coming up against us and trying to show us different looks as well. But as I said, it was a personal preference that I wanted to just try and continue to grow my game. You don't want to get stuck in your ways and happy with kind of how you're going. We speak about trying to get better every single day. So that's something that I believe that I can continue to add to my game, is up the ground, try to intercept the ball a little bit more. And then that adds more depth to my game, but more depth to my backline and the whole team as well.
Ferg, there was an opportunity for you against Richmond. I think you know where I'm going with this. Now, you ran inside the forward 50. Talia Randall was having a shot at goal. I think I might have even DM'd you. I said, she should have passed to you. And you sort of said, I didn't really want it. She's a forward. She gets paid big bucks to kick goals. Now, next time a situation comes up like that, are you going to wave your arms up and down and make sure you take a mark and have a shot on goal?
Look, I'd like to say I would, but I think my nerves will probably get to me too much. I think it's been made such a big thing now that I haven't kicked a goal that I'm a bit nervous that if I finally do get a set shot straight in front or something 20 metres, then I'm probably going to spray it off to the side. But yeah, it would be nice to get a goal, obviously, but it's not something that I'm too focused on. It is a bit of a joke that I might go throughout my whole career without getting one. But you know what? I'm a defender. I prefer stopping the goals. Don't really feel like I need to kick them.
Yeah. I still want to see you have a shot. I don't care where it goes. It can go off the side of your boot. You can shake it. Whatever you do, just have a shot. Especially when we're. Charlie Randall kicked that out of my full anyway, just by the way. So, yeah, so you couldn't have done any worse than that. Even if you kicked it in someone's nose or something like that on the mark. So, it doesn't matter. Now, through the course of the year, and even though the results were suggesting that we didn't have our challenges, and uneducated people say that, but we did have a lot of injuries during the year. It tested our depth, but we found some gems. Amy Gavin Magna looks like she's going to be a player. You mentioned Tessa Boyd established herself in the back half when we had a few injuries. She came into the team late as well. Eliza Shaman came into the team this year and cemented her spot. But I guess the biggest inclusion was Blahin Bogue, who capped off her first season with an All-Australian blazer, and Eilish Sheeran, who proved her worth in the finals with just having that big body in the heat of the contest in finals, getting best on ground medal in the granny. Tell me about those individuals and the worth they bring to the club, not just on the field, but maybe off the field as well.
Yeah, I think that's what the nicest thing reflecting on this was is also the 2025 year, is that in 2024 we kind of felt like we not had it easy, but we didn't have many injuries and we went through the unscathed, whereas last year we had a lot of our long-term players go out, so it really opened the doors for some of those players that were just establishing themselves. As you said, Blahin, it was just so nice to see how much reward she had for her effort. She came in a couple of years ago, I believe, and he'd look like a little bit of a, what do they say, duck out of water, fish out of water, whatever the saying is. She just looked, I guess, a little bit lost or didn't really understand the kind of way the game was played and kind of where she should be and everything like that. So I know in that first year she thought she could get a game but just couldn't quite crack in, and did probably feel a little bit underdone, whereas this year she came in and looked unreal up. She was definitely someone I didn't like to see on Matt Seaman in the preseason because she's just so dynamic. She can mark the ball, but then she's quick on ground level like all those Irish players are, and she's got a beautiful snap and finishing as well. And then Anna Sheeran is just a finals made player. She just loves big games, loves high pressure environments. She's just someone that you know is going to get the job done and will back herself in. And both are extremely lovely off the field, really good quality people, which I think something that the club as a whole, especially Alison Flynn, is looking for our players. Like, there's a lot of talent out there, but we want to bring good club culture to, like, good club people to add to our culture.
Definitely, and that's always a big thing. That's always been a big thing with North Melbourne Football Club, not just the AFLW, but AFL men's program as well. And I've been following North Melbourne since about 1990, Ferg, and I've seen some great teams. It might be showing my age there in the 90s, and seen a lot of success. But I honestly think this is the best team I've ever seen represent North because of how strong you are collectively, and the process and standards you girls set is something you should all be proud of. But he's saying that it must have been nice to see Ash Riddell win the competition best and fairest. The blinding season where she averaged 38 disposals per game, which is equivalent of about 43 in the men's program.
It was so nice. So she is the hardest working person I've ever met, and she's worked hard for so many years. She just does everything at 110%. She deserves every accolade that she receives. And it's no surprise she averages such high disposals because that can just cover the ground. She has endurance I've kind of ever seen. It's a bit of a joke she might be as quick, but she could run out an entire game if she needed to. It's so nice. But I think Karen Damon are just such good quality people, humble people that we'd love to see get the success that they deserve. They're such big parts of the AFLW as a whole, and then especially obviously our team. I think I've been for a couple of years now, and I guess maybe sometimes it's a little bit looked by Damon out there as well, but we know it was that she's really highly appreciated for her on-field performance, but also her leadership and everything that she adds to her team as a whole.
No, definitely. Now, we lost a few players in the off-season, but we gained Madison Torpy from Carlton. We got the girl we wanted in the draft at pick 37 in Christy Lee Weston Turner, Shauna McGalligan, and Vicky Wall's sister Sarah as well. Can you tell us anything about those girls, or is Sarah Wall as scary as her sister?
I haven't got to meet her just yet. She doesn't look quite as scary, but I definitely think I'll be avoiding both walls on the field. I'll be trying to run the opposite way, especially any sort of tackling drills. But yeah, I think this is just such good. I keep using the reward of the word reward, but like our list management team put so much work in, as I said, to bring good club people into the team, people with a lot of talent as well, and you can see how well our list continues to be quite balanced. I think obviously we've got some players towards the end of their career or a little bit older, but then we continue to bring in such depth into the team and some really young players, but also some established players as well who will just get slot straight in. I think we're really excited to see how all those girls can perform and add to the kind of team as a whole. But again, it's nice to see how well our list is doing and how connected we all are. And yeah, I think we're in such a good position. We were not allowed to talk about the repeat until we got into 2026, so it's something that we're allowed to start speaking about now. It was banned at the end of last year. You just had to enjoy the premiership, but we can't wait to get back to work. And as I said, I think we've got such a strong list with older age, younger age, and all in between, and so much depth as well.
Yeah. Well, when does pre-season start for you girls?
Officially now it's in May. I can't remember when our blackout period ends. I know it's a little after, obviously, the team that didn't make finals. But I know we've already been put in the work. I think most girls are already back training after the grand final. It's much easier to keep training and not lose your fitness than let it go too long. So I know a lot of the girls are committed to, as I said, getting better every single day and not wait for the season to come back around.
Well, that's commitment for you. So not certainly not resting on their laurels. So it's really good to see. Now, I'll finish with a quiz. I do this with Claire and Jacinta each week during the year. And we're to see how you go. So you're happy to play a part here, Jazz, to finish off?
Of course, I'll try my best. I'm sometimes a little bit bad with these, but more than happy to try.
Oh, that's all right. That sounds good. Now, I know that Irish girls bounce the ball funny, to say the least. Now, who took the most bounces this year from the Irish girls? So we've got Amy Gavin Mangan, Blahin Bogue, Vicky Wall, Erica O'Shea. Could you go highest to lowest?
I thought he would have taken the most because I know she got out in space a fair bit and broke a few ankles and took a few bounces. I feel like Ricky should have taken a couple, but again, she often is so quick and then just kicks it and no one's anywhere near her. I might even go Blaheem, Ricky, AGM, and I thought Vicky would be last because that girl's just crash and pack. She doesn't often get out in space too much to bounce.
So who'd you have first? Sorry, I missed that.
I'll go Blaheem the most.
Okay, so you weren't too far off. AGM, 6 bounces this year. The most for the club as well. Blahin Bogue, 3. Vicky Wall, 2. Erica O'Shea, 1. So
I thought Ricky would have had a few more than that, actually.
Yeah, I think they've got to be genuine bounces. They've got to bounce back up to you. I think she had a few that just went along the ground. So, all right, I'm going to do a player comp between you and Libby Birch. So you play similar positions. So who had better disposal efficiency between you and Libby Birch this year?
Ooh, I like to usually say that my disposal efficiency is quite high. It's one of the stats that I believe I lead often in because I don't lead in too many apart from time on ground as well. I'll back myself in and say I had higher disposal efficiency.
Yes, you did. You had 84%. Now, just to boost your ego here, Jazz. Now, you had the best disposal efficiency in the AFLW this year for a player with over 100 possessions. So there you go. Yeah, we can't have Flash Bresnahan have 100% when she only played one game. So you had 84 for the year. Libby Birch had 77. So what about kicking efficiency between you, Libby Birch? Who had the better one out of that? It's pretty close.
Oh, yeah. I do try and take some pretty easy kicks sometimes. That's why I get a bit of shit given to me that my disposal efficiency is so high because I'm not taking that many hard kicks on. But again, I'm playing fullback, so what else do you need to do? Oh, maybe I'll give it to Libby then. She might have had a bit more efficiency than I did. Sometimes I just try to kick the shit out of her and get it out of there.
No, you beat her. 81% Ferg, Libby Birch 75. So
I'm not.
that's it. Now, who had more spoils in total this year between you and Libby Birch?
Oh, I'd have to go Libby because I feel like that girl stopped the ball coming down to me quite a lot of the time. There was definitely some games that I didn't even need to get a spoil in at all because it just stopped before it even got past the 50-meter line. I'll go Libby.
Yeah, 54. You had 31. So yeah, no, she was very good in spoiling it this year. I think she led the team. So yeah,
good.
Yeah. Who had more tackles in total this year between you and Libby Birch?
Oh God, I don't know if we're both known. We're not probably not very much known for
It's
our
pretty
tackling,
close.
either of us. I might have to go to Libby again because again, I feel like she was in the contest a little bit more than I was in some of those games throughout the year when we were, playing quite well. So I'll go Libby.
Yeah, it was Libby. 32 yourself. You had 28, which is not bad for a couple of defenders there. So now,
we'll take
Ferg, this one is just for you. Did you take a contested mark this year?
Oh, yes, I would like to think I did.
Well, it's only got you for one, but I'm pretty sure you took one in the last quarter in the grand final.
Oh God, I left it to the last quarter in the grand final.
I'm pretty sure that was the one. So, I thought that was a bit because I'm pretty sure you took a few. I don't know. I don't know how they do that. So yeah.
That's all right. Maybe I was in just good positions. They were all uncontested. We'll say that. Or something
you must have read the ball in the air. And,
yeah, of course.
That's it. Now, in the grand final, who had the best disposal efficiency in the game? It wasn't a defender, just to give you a hint.
Oh. And for our team, you mean? For us as well?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Oh, God. I'm trying to think of some of my good ball users then if it wasn't a defender. I would have gone maybe someone like a Tess Craven because I know she gets a fair bit of ball up on the wing and has got a beautiful kick on her. I don't even know if I'd go forward as well. Maybe I'll lock in Tess Craven. I'll go with my wingers. We loved our wingers this year.
Close. I think she had 84. Bella Eddy, 90%.
So I should have gone my little forward girl.
Yeah. No, she's very good efficiency wise. And last one, Jazz. And do you know what you're doing at 4:09 a.m. Sunday, 30th of November?
Oh God. It's all a bit of a blur. Probably the last 2 weeks after the grand final, they all kind of merged into one because I didn't get a lot of sleep in that time. I was actually a little bit unwell after all the grand final celebrations, but living by the model of no regrets, it was the most fun celebrating. I'm assuming I was probably drinking somewhere, maybe hopefully with some of the teammates or dancing to some songs, We Are the Champions or something like that.
Well, you had Bella Eddy on your shoulders. And she had the Premiership Cup. It was on the socials.
There we go. Yeah. We were probably singing Dog Days Are Over then. That was our favourite song to sing at
more than
grand final celebrations.
Yeah, well, it's a pretty good memory if you do remember that. I don't know how much you remember, but that was good. But Fergs, we had a bit of shady internet, but we got there in the end. Thanks so much for coming on. From not just me, but the supporters in general, I definitely encourage anyone who has doubts about going to the AFLW game in the future, go to Arden Street. You won't regret it. The way you girls are communicating on the boundaries, sacrifice for each other, it's something very special. So thank you for bringing so much joy to the supporters these last few seasons. Not just winning games and premierships and so forth. That's always a bonus, but it's just the way you play. I feel very honoured that you were able to make it tonight. I really appreciate you taking the time. Thank you so much, and I might chat to you during the pre-season as well. See how that's going.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you for having me. Sorry if there are technical difficulties and everyone out there and I sound a bit croaky. But no, thank you for having me on. I always love jumping on. And as you said, I would highly encourage everyone to come down to a game once the season starts up again. Arden Street's a beautiful place to watch the footy from. And we do, really appreciate all the support that we get. It's something that as a team in the women's space that we really do speak about giving back to our members and people that come and watch us because it creates, such a great atmosphere for us to play on. And it's what we enjoy most.
No, definitely. I mean, you might even see Ferg get down in the forward line, kick a goal. Who knows? So, that could be a bonus.
Kick a goal, all those kind of things.
You haven't taken a bounce in your career, just let
No, I haven't. That's also another bit of a running joke. I'm trying to go through my whole career without taking one. It's going to be an effort for me.
No, well, I'd like to. If you get in space, just take one, even if you run 2 meters. So,
Yeah,
yeah,
they go.
yeah, but no, thank you so much, Ferg, for coming on. Thank you to all your listeners as well. Give Ferg a follow. Maybe you want some tips on how to celebrate a post grand final win, and send her a message. Like, subscribe, tell your friends about the show. That's it.